Hey Photo World, welcome back to another episode here on TakeandTalkPics.com. This is another episode from the former podcast. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join the email list. Let's get to that 1,000 subscriber marker so that way I can add a new video every single week. Enjoy.
Hey Photo World, Rob Kruger here, and welcome back to Take and Talk Pics. This is episode 28. Today on Take and Talk Pics, I would like to break down one thing that has come up in several interviews so far, and I imagine it will come up in many more. It's a simple quote I have on my wall in my office. It's the title of a book I often recommend on the show, and it's one thing that will make an enormous difference between those who are successful in their business and those who are struggling with their business. First off, we should kind of define success, at least a little bit. My definition is going to be wildly different from yours when it comes to success, but the basis is similar for all of us. It usually lines up with financial stability in some sort, the ability to maintain a healthy and active lifestyle, the health and happiness of your family, and happiness on a more personal level. Again, it's all open-ended for whatever you think would be your definition of success, because it does change from person to person. But whatever the ideal definition of success for you is, those common themes tend to overlap when we start asking people that question. But what's this mystery topic that I keep talking about? What's so secret that this big buildup is needed? It's three simple words. They remind us that nothing comes free in life, and earning success is the best way to achieve your own ideal level of success. Do the work. It's really that simple, Photo World. If you can put it out there and do the work, it is that easy, but at the same time, it is that complex. Now, I don't want to get all preachy and tell you exactly how to run your business because, to be honest, I have no idea what is working in your business and what is not working in your business. What I understand is what works in mine hasn't worked in the past. But the idea behind this, do the work idea, is we don't wake up and have everything come to us. It doesn't show up on a silver platter. If we put in a little bit of effort, we can start to see a little bit of those results. And I think it's really important to remember that because it's very difficult to put in that time. Now, do you have a schedule where you come into your office at home or your studio and spend those hours marketing, making those cold calls, putting up the new blog post, editing the latest portfolio pictures to update your website, getting some more prints to have on the wall as samples? Are you really doing the work? And I think the majority of us feel yes, we are. We are doing the work, we're doing as much as we can. But if you're like me, you go to bed at night feeling a little bit as though maybe I didn't do everything I could today. Maybe there's a way that I could have been a little bit more efficient with my time and my business that would yield a little bit better results in the future. Now, I have a little soundbite here from the book, Do the Work by Steven Pressfield, that I'd like you to hear. It's only a few minutes, but it's a nice little segment. I pulled the soundbite off of the audiobooks section on Amazon.com. Go ahead over there. I'll have the link on the show notes page, and you can listen to the little bit there as their sample. But it's a great book, and I think that little bit, but the book is really where it's at and all the information you can get. So I do recommend this book, Do the Work by Steven Pressfield. But let's have a listen.
Instead of our lower. Any of these acts will elicit resistance. Now, what are the characteristics of resistance? Resistance is invisible. Resistance cannot be seen, heard, touched, or smelled, but it can be felt. We experience it as an energy field radiating from a work in potential. Resistance is a repelling force. It's a negative. Its aim is to shove us away, distract us, prevent us from doing our work. Resistance is insidious. Resistance will tell you anything to keep you from doing your work. It will perjure, fabricate, falsify, seduce, bully, cajole. Resistance is protean. It will assume any form if that's what it takes to deceive you. Resistance will reason with you like a lawyer or jam a 9mm in your face like a stick-up man. Resistance has no conscience. It will pledge anything to get a deal, then double-cross you as soon as your back is turned. If you take resistance at its word, you deserve everything you get. Resistance is always lying and always full of shit. Resistance is impersonal. Resistance is not out to get you personally. It doesn't know who you are and doesn't care. Resistance is a force of nature. It acts objectively. Though it feels malevolent, resistance in fact operates with the indifference of rain and transits the heavens by the same laws as stars. When we marshal our forces to combat resistance, we must remember this. Resistance is infallible. Like a magnetized needle floating on a surface of oil, resistance will unfailingly point to true north, meaning that calling or action it most wants to stop us from doing. We can use this. We can use it as a compass. We can navigate by resistance, letting it guide us to that calling or purpose that we must follow before all others. Rule of thumb: the more important a call or action is to our soul's evolution, the more resistance we will feel toward pursuing it. Resistance is universal. We're wrong if we think we're the only ones struggling with resistance. Everyone who has a body experiences resistance. Resistance never sleeps. Henry Fonda was still throwing up before each stage performance, even when he was 75. In other words, fear doesn't go away. The warrior and the artist live by the same code of necessity, which dictates that the battle must be fought anew every day. Resistance plays for keeps. Resistance's goal is not to wound or disable. Resistance aims to kill. Its target is the epicenter of our being, our genius, our soul, the unique and priceless gift we were put on this earth to give and that no one else has but us. Resistance means business. When we fight it, we are in a fight to the death. Rational thought. Next to resistance, rational thought is the artist or entrepreneur's worst enemy. Bad things happen when we employ rational thought because rational thought comes from the ego. Instead, we want to work from the self, that is, from instinct and intuition, from the unconscious. Homer began both the Iliad and the Odyssey with a prayer to the Muse. The Greeks' greatest poet understood that genius did not reside within his fallible, mortal self, but came to him instead from some source that he could neither command nor control, only invoke. When an artist says, "Trust the soup," she means let go of the need to control, which we can't do anyway, and put your faith instead in the source, the mystery, the quantum soup. The deeper the source we work from, the better our stuff will be, and the more transformative it will be for us and for those we share it with. Friends and family. The problem with friends and family is that they know us as we are. They are invested in maintaining us as we are. The last thing we want is to remain as we are. If you're listening to this book, it's because you sense inside you a second self, an unlived you. With some exceptions, God bless them, friends and family are the enemy of this unmanifested you, this unborn self, this future being. Prepare yourself to make new friends. They will appear, trust me. Our allies. Enough for now about the antagonists arrayed against us. Let's consider the champions on our side. 1, stupidity. 2, stubbornness. 3, blind faith. 4, passion. 5...
Photo World, there were a couple nuggets that I got from that. Fear doesn't go away. That is so true in everything that we do, not just in our business, but in our lives. Fear doesn't go away. It interrupts the things we're pursuing. It obstructs the things we want. But if we can go into everything, every situation, knowing that the fear doesn't go away, and from our own experiences, looking back on what we've accomplished in our lives, in our businesses, in our photography, we can see that, hey, you know what? There was fear, but I overcame it because I tried, because I did the work. It's easier to look back and see all that happen. And I think the fear of doing the work is spawned from the idea that we don't want to fail. We don't want to put our time and energy, and sometimes our money, into something that we don't know will work out because we're afraid. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to invest in yourself with time, your energy, and even, yes, financially invest in yourself. Because if you don't try it, you definitely have the answer, and that answer is it didn't work. It didn't happen. You didn't get those clients. You didn't grab that job. You didn't have that experience or that new image for your portfolio because you didn't try. So we can be set on that answer knowing that if we don't do anything, we get nothing. And if you're satisfied with that for that particular situation, for many situations, whatever the case may be, that's okay. It's a decision you make at that time when that comes. But the truth is, if we try it, if we think, you know what, maybe this isn't beneath me because X, Y, and Z, offering that comes back to you, whether it's experience or knowledge or an opportunity that you don't know where the next thing's going to lead, then it might be worth trying. He also spoke about friends and family, and I love how he started that section with, the problem with friends and family is, don't get me wrong, we do need them, our friends and family, we need them in our lives, we need that support system. But don't let their support cloud your vision for your business and your passion. You have to remember that they see a small, simple product of your labor. What they can see as a final image, they kind of view it as a gift that you might have that they do not. But we know it takes a lot more than one happenstance of luck to achieve what they are seeing, or even what they're understanding with your business. It's the culmination of everything you've learned, every experience you've had, the way you view your work, your gear, your business, your clients, your life, all wrapped up into everything you're doing with your business. Now again, I don't want to tell you what to do. I don't want to tell you exactly how you can succeed because of just doing the work. It is that simple, but on the other hand, you can fight me on it if you want, because it is that complex. But the truth is, we are on a marathon where we get up and we go, go, go. And you do not see the finish line from day one. From that first step, you don't see the finish line. So you have to continue forward. And even a marathon isn't the greatest analogy because I don't believe there is a finish line. The second you cross a finish line, you would be done. You would settle. It'd be over. What's the point of that? So instead of there being a finish line, some sort of light at the end of this tunnel thing, it's a checkpoint. So get to whatever level you are pursuing now, get there and say, what's next? Where do I go? How do I get there? And then take those steps. Now, these Monday episodes, as I've changed them, I please would really appreciate your feedback on if this is the right kind of show to bring up, because my ideas are spinning on how many things I can talk about for these brief little moments of information and bringing it to you, Photo World. I love the interviews, and I think that's what gets me really fired up, but these Monday episodes I think are valuable to kind of break down an idea, to analyze it just a little bit further. So I give you a challenge. I give you this homework of waking up tomorrow, doing the work just for that day, and see if a checkpoint in your future is becoming a little bit more clearer. I give you the challenge of achieving a goal, a short-term goal that can lead into those long-term goals that you may have for your business, for your photography, or for your life. Because we can separate as much as we want of our business life from our social life, from our family life. But the truth is they need to intertwine to maintain semblance and sanity. It's really difficult to live 2-3 lives feeling like they're separated. So to combat and go against the idea of the problem with friends and family is there's nothing wrong with them. You just need to understand where they're coming from and how they know you and the relationship you already have and the clients that you do not have, the business that you do not have at this point, because they don't understand you in a certain way like friends and family, yet you need them to. And the only way that happens is if you put in the time, you acknowledge that fear doesn't go away, and above all, you do the work. Thank you, Photo World, for joining us on our new edition of Mondays. I'm Rob Kruger, TakeandTalkPics.com. The information, a couple links here, Stephen Pressfield and the book Do the Work. We will have those on the show notes page. Just search 28 to find episode 28 and the show notes for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you next time, and happy shooting.